Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, hours after killing 2 priests and 17 worshippers in a church in Gua Council, gunmen invade another Benue local government area, killing at least 13 persons in 2 settlements and ending Benue carnage. House of Representatives suspends plenary for 3 days to summon President Buhari over continued killings in Benue State and insists on sacking of security chiefs over insecurity. The Federal High Court in Abuja nullifies a reordered election sequence proposed by the National Assembly, says only INEC has power to fix election dates and sequence. And French President Emmanuel Macron addresses joint houses of the U.S. Congress, denounces nationalism and isolationism.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's foremost financial services group, FBN Holdings, releases 2017 full-year statement as key line items coming positive with the proposed 25 kobo dividend.
On sports news, Liverpool FC and England midfielder Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will miss this year's FIFA World Cup after suffering a knee injury in the UEFA Champions League against Roma.
And from Abuja, President Buhari to pay a 2-day official visit to Bauchi State tomorrow, coming after 2 failed scheduled visits.
We begin tonight with the killing of at least 13 persons by armed men in simultaneous attacks on Ali Agundu and Sav council wards of Guma Local Council in Benue State. Both settlements were attacked only hours after the killing of 19 persons in Gua East Local Council on Tuesday. Confirming the early Wednesday morning killings to Channel Television, the chairman of Guma Local Council, Anthony Shawon, said the attackers stormed Ali Agundu at about 2 a.m. and killed 13 persons. Mr. Shawon also confirmed that while Ali Agundu was being attacked, another group of armed men killed 3 other residents in Sav Council Ward of Guma Local Council. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Fatai Owosheni, who spoke to our correspondent, says 13 persons were killed.
13 were the people that, the corpses that were picked in that area. It's quite a sad incident, a very unfortunate one. Just like the incident that took place yesterday, we're having a new dimension, which we can somehow conclude that it's beyond the issue of herdsmen attacking people, but a murderous gang that is roving around the places, that is actually probably having some kind of, will I say, intelligence of the operation of the security agencies, which may come from inside, because we've noticed the pattern for the past 1-2 weeks that you have security deployment at this location, and about 50 kilometers away from where you have security deployment, that is where they will go and use as target. We've kept on re-strategizing with a view to put an end to this, the activities of this murderous gang.
Now, following the killings in Benue and other parts of the country, the House of Representatives has summoned President Muhammadu Buhari demanding explanations. The lawmakers also resolved to suspend plenary for 3 days in solidarity with victims of attacks across the country. Some members also called for the sack of the nation's service chiefs and asked that the president declare the suspected killer herders as terrorists. Our correspondent Terry Ikumi reports.
The issue of national security dominates proceedings on the floor of the House of Representatives, as the attention of the House is brought to the recent killings in Benue State by suspected herdsmen.
Attack by alleged army personnel on innocent residents of Naka in Gwe West local government area of Benue State, and the inability of the army and other security agencies to quell the incessant murder of indigents of Benue State by armed herdsmen.
22 people in my local government of Guma this morning were slaughtered in their sleep around 3 a.m. in the morning. They were killed by herdsmen.
The lawmakers observe a minute's silence for the victims, and the floor opens for reactions by members, with some calling for the removal of the service chiefs.
What would the period of the election look like when we have intruders coming in from Libya, as told by our president? When we do not even know what our problems are? When we do not know who the attackers are?
Mr. Speaker, these are terrorists that have invaded this country, and they should be declared terrorists, and we should go after them as terrorists.
Mr. President, to remove them from office and be replaced, to bring in fresh ideas and strategies to deal with the issue of security that has ravaged this country. I move that...
A lawmaker raises a motion to summon the president, which amends the initial resolve that the leadership of the House meet with President Buhari over the security situation in the country.
If any member has any question to ask, he can ask Mr. President, because he's our president. He's presiding over Nigeria, and he's the chief security officer of the country. So I move that this House summon Mr. President to appear before us to address security issues and to answer questions.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Nay. The ayes have it.
It is not clear yet when exactly the House plans to summon the president. However, the House has said it will suspend sitting for 3 legislative days in solidarity with Nigerians with regards to the killings across the country. The House has also promised not to be partisan with matters of internal security of the country. Terry Ikumi, Charles Television News.
Meanwhile, the presidency says the lawmakers have not formally communicated their summons to the president. Reacting to the House of Representatives' decision, the special advisor on media and publicity to the president, Mr. Femi Adesina, said the president will respond accordingly when he is formally notified. Mr. Adesina spoke at our daily political program, Politics Today.
It's democracy in action. The House has the right to ask anybody to appear, and the president is holding the position as a trust for Nigerians. Is the mandate of Nigerians that he is holding. But when they communicate that decision to him, he will respond to it accordingly. I can't be talking of what he will do until that decision is communicated to the president. I'm aware that the security is taking some steps, but then you know that security decisions are not what you disclose until the security swing into action. But I know that definitely yes, because I spoke to some people in the third echelon of security, and they are making some moves. But one thing is significant. Right on your station last night, I heard the deputy governor of Benue speak, and he said that these killings are beyond farmers' herdmen clashes. That was what the deputy governor said yesterday, and I think that is very instructive. What we now seem to have on our hands are the normal herdsmen who carry sticks and cutlass, and then some abnormal and unnatural herdsmen who are killers in disguise, who perpetrate this evil. So you see that it's a multi-dimensional thing now, and is beyond the ordinary farmer-husband clashes which we have had with us for decades. This is not what is happening in the country now.
There's been more condemnation on the persistent killings of civilians across the country, especially the recent murder of the 2 Catholic priests and 17 worshippers in Benue State. The latest is coming from the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum, including the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, the Pan-Yoruba Social Political Organization, Afenifere, and the Ohaneze Ndigbo. After an emergency meeting at the Abuja residence of Niger Delta leader, Chief Edwin Clark, the group addressed journalists, criticizing the alleged inability of security operatives to handle the killings. While calling on citizens to defend themselves legitimately, members also urged the Police Service Commission to deploy police officers to their states of origin for effective policing of their communities.
The continuous spate of killing of innocent citizens of Nigeria, especially from the Middle Belt, is totally unacceptable to us. Section 33 of our Constitution accords the right to legitimate self-defense as a constitutional right of all citizens. We are left with no alternative than to call on Nigerians to employ self-defense. Self-defense as permissible in law when any citizen is faced with the risk of imminent death in the circumstances we find ourselves now. Nigerians must self-defend themselves now. We also call on the Police Service Commission to immediately deploy divisional police officers to their places of origin for a more effective policing.
The Senate has summoned the Inspector General of Police to appear at plenary on Thursday, April 26th, to brief lawmakers on the arrest of Senator Dino Melaye. Mr. Ibrahim Idris is also to answer questions on the unending killings of Nigerians across the country. Lawmakers today adjourned plenary in solidarity with the embattled senator, after which Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki and other lawmakers visited their colleague at the National Hospital. Our correspondent Linda Kigbe reports. While the verification exercise will hold on April 28th. The outcome of the verification will be released on the following day, April 29th, 2018. Meanwhile, the INEC Commissioner in charge of Kogi, Kwara and Nasarawa states, Alhaji Muhammad Haruno, has appealed to the people of Kogi West Senatorial District to exercise their constitutional right peacefully on the slated date. He also asked security agents in the state to provide adequate security during the exercise. We can bring you that report now by Linda Kigbe about lawmakers adjourning plenary in solidarity with embattled Senator Dino Melaye, after which Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki and other lawmakers visited their colleague at the National Hospital.
Like a thriller movie, the cat-and-mouse game between Senator Dino Melaye and the police got to a climax on Tuesday, April 24th. The police had arrested Senator Melaye and were transporting him for arraignment in Lokoja, Kogi State when the senator allegedly jumped out of the vehicle conveying him, got injured, and had to be taken to the hospital. Senator Melaye is facing allegations of arming criminal gangs and providing false statement to the police as regards an assassination attempt on his life.
The issue has been the issue of our colleague, Senator Dino Melaye.
The matter is brought up at Senate plenary, and lawmakers are troubled by the treatment of the senator by the police.
I don't feel that the way and manner Dino has been handled is the best way to handle it. Is belittling, is demeaning.
If you see the number of policemen, about 100 policemen in the hospital, it's uncalled for. If we have this strength in the police that we can dedicate about 100 policemen to one person on allegation, why can't we move those policemen to Zamfara or to Benue, where killings are taking place every day?
What happened to Dino today, or yesterday, or the day before yesterday, is an onslaught on democracy. For people like us, I know very well I'm also a target, and I will fall into the situation of Dino.
The Senate takes a position.
I'm standing here to move that this Senate, for now, move from here to go and see Dino.
With the adoption of a Senate resolution, lawmakers suspend plenary and head straight to the National Hospital, Abuja, to ascertain the condition of their colleague. At the National Hospital, only 9 senators are given access to the intensive care unit where Senator Melaye is receiving treatment.
So now his stable is being monitored, and we continue to pray for him that he fully recovers from his present predicament here. He's not in handcuffs.
Senator Dino Melaye is still being admitted here at intensive care unit in the National Hospital, Abuja. Now, in the meantime, the Senate has summoned the Inspector General of Police to appear before lawmakers on Thursday, 26th April, to explain the circumstances leading to the arrest and alleged ill treatment of Senator Dino Melaye, as well as the consistent killings of Nigerians across the country. From Abuja, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, return to today's court judgments on election sequence, and the convener election situation room, Clement Wankwo, is in our Abuja studios to examine the issues. Please stay with us.